Why am I so happy? I try to be happy every day. Good day, good holiday to you all. I hope you're having a wonderful one. Welcome, welcome, welcome. New subscriber, you're welcome here. If you're interested to hear about saving your license, your nursing license, this is the channel for you. I am going to speak the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So today, let's get started. Don't forget, please, I'm begging for likes. I'm begging for shares. And I'm begging for comments. But if you're rude, if you're disrespectful, I just delete the comments. I don't want to get in it. I don't like any confrontation. I don't like any nurse wars. So be nice, please. Thank you. Let's get started. Fake friends. You know, it's all over the news. It's all over. You hear this one you think is your friend and you found out too late. So I'm going to talk about, I'm a travel nurse and I travel around and I meet lots of nurses. And sometimes, and I have to tell you, to be honest, it took me a long time, and I don't want to go into how I was raised and my lifestyle as a teenager. I have a book about that. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is it took me a long time to know the difference. I know it sounds silly, but to know the difference between what's a friend and what's a best friend and all these things and people you trust. Trust is a big issue. Friends, I used to say everybody was my friend. You talked to me one time, I was a friend. Because I'm usually quiet, believe it or not. I am quiet, reserved into myself until I get to know you, then I can't shut up. But in between those silence, just like when I go on the unit, I may be amongst people that I've seen before in nursing. I finally got to work with them. So I step back and watch and observe. And the reason for that is sometimes the way my words come out, I'm a Sagittarius, and sometimes we just bluntly say what's on our mind. And a lot of people can't take it. I'll tell you an incident happened to me in Minnesota. And this is a nurse working for the same company that I work with. And she may be joking to me, but I took it as being serious in the sense that I was only kind of telling her what she was doing. Let me just tell you the situation. She said something, I don't even remember what she said to me, that I responded to, but she took it the wrong way. I think she was saying, she was joking. She said something about the company that we work for, and I'm going to tell them this, and I'm going to tell them that. They full of shit, something to that effect. I'm giving you an example because I don't remember exactly. It's been a while. And then she looked, and I said to her, you're going to tell them they full of shit? The people that pay your bills, the people that give you a paycheck? And she looked at me and she was like, blow it up in the proportion. That's right. You should respect your elders. I didn't feel like I said anything wrong. But she took it, blow it out of proportion. I said, calm down. She said, well, it's, I got ADHD and this. What does ADHD has to do with this? I'm thinking. And I'm not going to allow nobody to disrespect me and all that. And she was causing commotion, and we with these facility, Minnesota is not many of us, and many of us working together from this company, and she's carrying on a scene, and I don't want them to say, I'm trying to give them a good impression so we get to come back. And she was just blowing up. So I said, let's step off. What is the problem? I didn't see what I said. So I came to the conclusion, I'm going to just let people talk their stuff, and just be quiet, because this mouth kind of come off wrong. But I find that, and I'm telling you personally, for me, if you don't speak your truth, if you don't speak how you feel, you will get depressed. You will get sad. So I'm not going to let anyone stifle me. The truth hurt, the truth trigger. And from what I observed, this person just a ball of, I don't know how to describe her, but she seemed like that's her personality, because we went on the bus and she was acting like the same whacked out way to the bus driver. So that wasn't a friend. But I'm just telling you, amongst people, I tend to observe them and see how much, I can tolerate them, because if not, then I'll just leave them alone. But when I get to know you and you get to know me, you say, oh, you're pretty, you okay. I thought you was this mean, or some people say I'm stutch. Some people say I'm too uppity. I don't think none of that. I'm just a down-home nurse. Anyway, let's talk about fake friends. I wish we could just trust everyone and bring them into our home and just be happy. The world. I wish. That's my wish. I know it's never going to happen. People will always be someone that wants more than you or have more than you, and you feel a side away. I think I told this story before, but I want to, kind of talk about friendship. And when I have friends, when I think that I have friends, and remember, I don't know the difference. So I'm thinking that's my friend, and you invite them to your house, and you might have a little, because I put a lot of comfort, things that I like, whether it be artworks, query things like this over here, things that I like to look at and pleased to see, furnitures, or whether it will be a new piece of toy to me. And I'm happy. The energy in my house is happy. So when I invite someone into my space, I consider them my friend. Right? But not knowing, it's hard for you to know what's inside someone's mind. And so I remember one day I invite a couple friends to my house when I was in Philadelphia. Just a little townhouse. I got the end of the row, so it's not big. It's no backyard, just a little walk in the park, backyard. No. But it was pleasantly designed. And next day we got to work. That's the time. I think I was an LPN, yes. And I was working at the nursing home. And so they came, and they all was jealous. I found out in the end, because, and these are the nurses now, they said they had big houses. That's all they were talking about. I bought a house for $100,000 in Pennsylvania. That's a lot of money to buy a house. I never dreamed of having that type of house. I may have thought about it when I get to Atlanta, because I see that African Americans have all these nice houses, big yards in Atlanta, in Georgia, period. So that thought never got to my mind. So when they in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, I live in a little townhouse. And they talking about they bought these houses, and they're LPN like me. Some are RN, and they bought these. They on the suburb. They're doing this. They're doing big thing. Their kids in all these activities, and they're working 16 hours. I don't knock anyone that want to work overtime because I was working too, the same amount, but I had other goals. And then I started to see a shift, how the nurses were kind of treating me. And I didn't like it, but I didn't understand at the time because you see, I'm thinking that's my friend. They won't talk about me. They won't make me feel bad around them. And when I get to the cafeteria, they all separated. And you know how you walk into a room and you could tell that they were talking about you because they look up and then they all disappear and you go over there and say, oh, what are you saying? What are you doing? And they exit. And so that goes on for a while. Then I start talking to the supervisor. He and I, he and I talk a lot. And he was telling me what was going on. I wasn't devastated because, like I said, I didn't understand the concept at that time. But I knew then that I needed to stay away from these people because things were getting worse. They would say, oh, you leave the cart open, like in order to get me in trouble. And I noticed that, so I started to wean myself away from those friends. As a matter of fact, when things are getting heated, that's me. I don't want to stay in a facility like that. A lot of people I say, don't let them mess with your money. Yes, but why are you going to leave? Don't let them mess with your money. Get your bag. I don't know if I can stay in a hostile environment for too long. So I kind of exit out. What I'm trying to say to you is be careful who you let to your house. From that day on, I'm very careful. If I invite you, that means I trust you. And I think that you're a friend. Another incident I would say is a friend of mine called me and she said, oh, so-and-so, I was her roommate. They decided to go on an assignment in New York. And since both of them was going to the same place, they decided to rent a room, not a room, but a hotel, and shared it because the cost was so expensive. And she said that she was telling me about this person that we both know, and her demeanor and her attitude was totally different than how you see the person when you work with them. You could be the best person laughing and say, oh, I would like that person as a roommate. And then when you actually have them in your present 24/7, they work in both day shift, you realize that person is not what you expect. And she was telling me about her mood, and as a matter of fact, the friendship ended because the girl didn't pay her half what she said. And I don't like that. Another incident, and I'm telling you all these little stories, is a friend of mine. She went on vacation with friends, and they all said they're going to pitch in with the event, but she ended up paying ahead of time for them, and no one give her back the money. I don't like that. I don't like people that try to shortchange me. People like to take my kindness for weakness. They cling on to you when they know you have a little shilling. or a little dunsie or little quarters, pennies. They cling on to you so that you can spend while they get the glory. So you got to be mindful of those kind of friends. I made a lot of mistakes with friendship. Like I said, when I had a business, I had friends. I hired friends to the point that they were dictating to me what they will and will not do. I'm not coming in today. And it was so acceptable because I needed them. You needed friends. Never get needy or desperate to have someone in your life. It doesn't matter if they're your friend. They can harm you. But the worst part of it is when you think they're your friends and they turn around behind your back and hurt you. That's the scariest and devastated when you find out. I've been invited a lot of times to go on events, go on trips, and something about it didn't click with me because I only know you or the TGI Friday. Remember that nursing supervisor that I said I talked to a lot? And became a friend, would call me at home and we talk about stuff. We talk sometime about the workers at work. The nurses at work didn't really care for him. He was real strange, they say. But he was like a friend to me. I thought that was a friend, friend. And so one night he invited me to TGA Friday. TGA Friday was on City Line Avenue. Now they're not there anymore. But that used to be the spot that the hotel is a major hotel. Marriott, Hilton was around that areas too. They still are, but I'm not sure if it's those names. It's more uppity. It looks better now. Anyway, so TGA Friday was the spot that all the basketball players and the football players would hang out on the weekend. And so when I went there, he said, we just go there. He was going to have a little drink, and I don't drink. So he was going to treat me to dinner. So I went in my own car and I parked, and I didn't see him at first, and then he came out. So we went in the restaurant. I forgot what we had, but when I was ordering my food, and mark you, the hands must be faster than my eyes, because I didn't see it. He ordered me a drink, a regular drink, not alcohol, non-alcoholic drink. And I'm not sure, but the lady next to me across was just staring at me. And I didn't know at the time why. So apparently, and I find out while I was walking to my car, I was a little wobbly and I couldn't, but I didn't drink. So I didn't know what happened. And he was saying, "Oh no, come into my car. I'll take you home." I said, "No, my car's right there." And I'm trying to get in my car, and he's trying to pull me into his car. I said, "No. I don't want to go. I want to go in my car." I finally got to my car, opened it, and got in. I'm glad I had one of these, and decided to drive. And it was kind of snowy. And I said, "Lord, just get me home. That's all I want. Just get me home." I was feeling like out of space, dizzy, like drugged up. And this is a true story. And I said, please, please, it's snowing. I need to get off the highway and take the back road. That's what I did. I got off the highway and take the back road to Broad Street, Broad and Onley, and just drive all the way up to the northeast, Franklin Mills area. So I could, stop on the street and rest a little, but I didn't really want to stop because I felt if I stopped, I was just going to be knocked out and I don't know what else would happen to me. And he was laughing the whole time when he was trying to pull me, and I'm thinking, this is a friend now. So I didn't know what at the time, but as I was driving and driving, when I finally got home, and I was so happy when I got home, and I just fell out in the bed with my coats and everything on and didn't wake up till the next morning. I didn't go to work that first day after I woke up. I didn't go. I called out because I didn't understand what was going on. But the second day, I called him and I said, I think you put something in my drink. You ain't no friend of mine. And I don't want to elaborate on the story. I kind of blocked him out of my mind because that's supposed to be my friend. And I think that the lady was watching me because he must have put something in my drink because I was drugged up and I could not walk. And I said to him, I know you put something in my drink. I told him. I never talked to him. He was just laughing, think it was funny, but it wasn't funny to me. Here I am. First of all, my mistakes, men and women sometimes can't be friends. You don't know what's in their mind. I'm thinking this is a best friend. We talk about it. He know everything. He know what's going on in my life. We talk about it on the phone and all these nurses. I mean, I know he's dating around the nursing home and he's my supervisor and we just confide in each other. So he never crossed the line with me. Never. This was comforting to me to go with him because that's my friend. And I had a rude awakening. So what I'm trying to say is, you never know what's in people's mind. You never know the people that you say your friends that know all your business, they might take it and harm you. They might take it, and I'm glad that I'm here to tell the story because I don't know, I would have left kids without a parent. I just want to leave and end it here because I feel some kind of way when I hear that there's a young lady in Cabo and she thought she had friends. And I can envision how deeply hurt she is. And I hope the family get justice. A lot of people on YouTube be talking about, and I'm have difficulty. I don't want to Shaquala. I don't want mean any harm by pronouncing her name wrong. But I hope justice is served. Have a wonderful day and night in your state or your country. Thank you.